It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Oh, look at Wes rocking out. Wes is ready for the lowdown. Took a night off. As you guys discussed in the chat and predicted correctly, I was crashed out on the couch. I tried last night to take a quick nap and see. I knew I was run down. I was exhausted after school. Didn't have practice because it rained. And I knew I needed a nap. And I thought, I'm going to take a quick nap, see if I can get up and go to the second half of this boys game. And I woke up at 3:45, went to the bathroom, and went back to sleep. So it was a much needed night off. You guys were coming in late anyway from the game, which went late. Heck of a game, though, in the den.
Oh, my God.
Both games solid. The May River girls getting the win. The Bluffton boys getting a pretty good lead and then giving it up and then having to fight back and get the lead again and pulled away and made it look a little more comfortable than it really was, I think, it seemed like. But it was a good one. So we'll talk a lot about that because you guys were all there. We'll bring in Marcus Walsh. He was over at the Beaufort Hilton Head games. He'll talk about that. And we'll look at the brackets.
Playoffs.
We'll look at the playoff brackets. The playoffs have begun. In fact, over here in the other window, and I'll get it pulled in here, we've got a matchup going on of John Paul II down 9 now. They were down big early, but they've
hanging
pulled back
around
to 9 now.
Midway through the third. Yeah, still got a ball.
We're going to keep it muted because there's some very loud people in that gym.
Yes.
Quite obnoxious.
Beautiful gym,
it's kind of hard
way.
to listen to. It is. Nice looking gym. So we're checking that out. They're down 9. They're the home on the scoreboard. I know they were down 19-7 at one point, and they just got off to a terrible start, but they fought back in it a little bit. So yeah, here we are, boys. We also have USCB softball. Max, you were on the call for a couple of those today. They were on fire.
I was. Yes, they were. Very, very interesting matchup. Shorter has been on the downside this year. They were. Yeah. I looked at their record from last season. Not great. And by not great, I mean they had a record of 2-45 on the year in Division II play. They start out the season going into this game 0-6, and they will leave. They actually have 2 games in Richard Gray tomorrow against Allen University.
Okay.
So there's 4 teams that are going to be at Richard Gray Sports Complex: Allen University, Shorter University, Southern Wesleyan University, as well as USCB. USCB will be taking on
Southern Wesleyan. You mentioned that Shorter has had a rough start. Southern Wesleyan comes in unbeaten, 5-0. So,
interesting.
Tomorrow.
Games.
What time do they play
3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. A doubleheader between the Sand Sharks and the Warriors. I'm expecting 2 really good games, especially the way Southern Wesleyan.
Yeah, well, that ended up not being the case so much in terms of the games I had today.
Although Game 2 was interesting.
Game 2 was interesting. Emily Morgan, the freshman, got her first start on the year, and she was unfortunately just shell-shocked. She got lit up in the first inning. Didn't make it out of the first. Cassie Brundage comes in, gets the job done. She doesn't allow a run through the rest of the game. Emily Morgan allowed 5 runs in the first. Shorter got out to a 5-0 lead. And then it was all USCB after that.
I mean, that's when you start to test the younger guys, your pitching rotation or your pitching staff, and so I mean that's understandable. Non-conference game and against the opponent that you should beat. So Emily for Emily to come in there and I expect to see Sierra start probably the first game or at least one of the 2 tomorrow.
She started the first one today, and she was absolutely amazing to watch. Absolutely dominant. But USCB, through 2 games against Shorter, scored 22 runs on 28 hits, 2 homers, one by Addie Reynolds, and another one by Kenzie Four.
Oh my goodness, she is on some tear.
Yeah,
6 home runs. 6 home runs in 11 games.
Goodness, that is quite the start.
That's just over a home run every 2 games right now. So she is on.
That's crazy.
Fire.
And is continuing to
Addie Reynolds as well. What a tremendous pitch that she's been throughout her career. You can't forget about her. Yeah. JP2. JP2. Are they inching back? It's a 7-point game.
They just missed. They missed a bunny a second ago.
They
Ugh.
still got a whole nother quarter to play,
been
so this should be
nice.
very interesting.
Oh, God, that thing's soft.
Regarding Mackenzie Ford, I do have a nickname for her. I think me and Justin
Yep.
came up with it this.
We did.
We're gonna call her Mac.
We came
Attack.
up with this morning, and then you got to use it in the game.
I got to
Mac
use
what?
it, and I'm loving it. I think if
Mac
we'll
Attack.
ask,
Mac
we'll ask-
Attack.
we'll ask Mackenzie if it's okay with her, but I like the term Mac
I don't-
Attack.
I don't know that it's necessarily a nickname as much as a call for home runs. It's a Mac Attack.
Yes, it's a Mac
It is a
Attack.
Mac Attack, but she is everything that she embodies as a player. I think is Mac Attack. So who knows? If we figure out a better nickname for her, we'll use Mac Attacks. That's obvious. Like we will be using that from home runs here on out. West, if you get a home run from Mackenzie Ford tomorrow, I'd
I'd say
hearing
that's
you
pretty.
say Mac
Although
Attack.
I mean, I'd say pretty favorable odds at this rate. By the way, she's been swinging it that we'll get at least one
Oh
Mackenzie
my
Ford
God!
home run, but we'll see. It should be a tight couple
Yeah,
of games
so
over
the-
there at
So
Richard
the
Gray.
Sand Sharks, yeah. So the Sand Sharks, after losing 2 in a row to Francis Marion, that's a very good man.
Yeah.
Francis Marion.
Meanwhile, baseball is also in action at Florida
are.
Southern, and last time I checked, they were down 7-4. They had a couple runners on. If it'll update here between the Sand Sharks taking on, it's now 8-4 Florida Southern in the 8th. So looked like USCB had a chance to come back, and still not over yet, but they had bases loaded down by, I think they're down by 5 runs. They only been getting 1 in that half inning, so still down by a couple over down in Lake in Florida, against Florida Southern.
Yep, Lakeland, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You know, it's the thing I noticed with softball today.
Oh,
Offense is extremely strong.
Oh,
It
man.
could be one of the stronger
need a bucket here.
offensive teams in the Peach Belt this season, which I think is going to help them a lot. And they're a very good defensive team too, but I think their offense has been the story this year for USCB, and it clearly showed today. Like I said, 22 runs on 20.
I mean, that's why they brought in Kodieski, because she's so proficient in adopting techniques for her players to get the offense going, and just they. I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow. It'll be the first time I've seen like a full USB softball game this year, but I've seen in the past just their ability to grind out tough at bats and the ability to make contact and then use the speed to get on. Coach Yeski's done a fantastic job the last few years of this program, and then now it's really starting to come all the way together on the offensive side. You get a dominant number 1 in the circle. Things are looking pretty good for USC softball so far, USCB softball so far, and should be another tough test. It should be a tough test tomorrow against the Southern Wesleyan team.
I want to explain to everyone just how good of an offensive team this is. Their first game against Shorter, they won 11-0. Every starter in that game had at least 1 hit.
Nice.
So they all went with at least 1 hit in that game among the starters. That is
they were swinging
absolutely unreal.
They're hitting 350.
Well, Whitlock had 3 at bats.
They're a 957 OPS as a team. They're 957 OPS as a team, and they're 39-40 in stolen base attempts. So that's pretty impressive. And Saria Simmons is 14, which leads the team. So they've been running as well. Mackenzie 4. Now was this? This was an update. This was before today. So it might have increased a little even higher after today because the stats haven't been updated. So probably update the stats tomorrow morning. So is that 7 home runs for 4 on the year now?
No, she's got 6. So I think.
Maybe they did update
today.
All right. Well, Bracken must have
12 games. Yeah. They should be
12 games. Okay. So yeah, they are.
They
updated.
They go in immediately. It's all.
All right. So there you go. 6 home runs for 4, 350 batting average, and over a 950 OPS for the squad so far, heading into Saturday, which is quite impressive. Mackenzie 4, as you expect, would leading the team in ribbies, but Jaden Goodwin quietly has had a great start. She had a walk-off hit a couple weeks ago. She's hitting 476. Darren Miller batting even 500 through 28 ABs. She is a speedster, and
I saw her lay down a beautiful drag bunt today.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
Yep.
Here's the story.
First and third, 2 outs, and she drags one.
Here's the story for the second game. Emily Morgan came in as a starter in the circle. Freshman, first start in her college career. Very not the way you wanted to go, but again, she is a freshman.
Got that one out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, she's gonna learn from it. It's totally fine. It's okay. Nothing bad. Cassie Brundage was the story of the second game because let me tell you, in relief, she pitched 6 2/3 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. And pitching was another key factor for
All
them today.
right. And one. Toby
And one.
Colella with the
Very
call.
nice.
My friend Toby
Pitching was the other
Colella.
story today. Sierra Kinlaw was
DJ
absolutely
Styles.
unbelievably on fire. She only pitched 3 innings, which really that's all she needed to do.
Well,
in
yeah,
that
I
game.
mean, it was a run rule victory
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
first
5-inning
game.
run rule victory. Abby Ramirez, who's been struggling the last few outings for her, had a very good 2-inning outing in game 1 today, allowing no runs, of course, and I believe
She's always been she's been fantastic in relief. I mean, she has had some moments where but
yeah,
she's more so than not. She's always been pretty strong in relief.
yes, she has.
Yeah,
She's been struggling the last couple times out. Obviously against Francis Marion, again, very solid softball team in Francis Marion. And then she struggled, I believe, a little bit against, if I'm not mistaken, Savannah State, but I could be wrong. That could have been a different team. But this was her first good outing in the last 3 or 4 outings or so. So it was good to see Abby Ramirez get back on the right foot against Shorter. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, my first time getting to be on call for USCB softball this season, a lot of fun, a lot of offense for USCB, obviously, and I was very happy with how they played today.
The offense really has. I agree. The offense really has been the story of this year, especially the production for Mackenzie Ford, who we saw some good things out of her last year, but now she has really broken out so far to start the season. I mean, you can't expect that level of home run hitting to continue into the Peach Belt portion of the schedule, but you expect her to continue to develop offensively and come up with some important base hits, and
they'll start pitching around her at some point.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you start hitting bombs. Pitchers are going to respect you, and they're going to make it hard for you to continue to do that.
They're just going to pitch you away, away.
It adds you as a weapon because you're able to get on base and continue to. Because in softball, getting that base runner, like especially early in inning, because it's a little easier than baseball in terms of softball to move runners over and to pick up steals. So I mean, walks are even more so vital in softball. I mean, they are pretty much the same, but I feel like softball, they'll
kill you. They'll absolutely kill you in both sports, but especially in softball.
Yeah. But Mackenzie
they
Ford,
turn into triples way too easily.
One important piece of the lineup that she has been. And I mean, I even talked about a player like Addie Reynolds who can get hot at a moment's notice with her bat, and then just the speedsters in the lineup like a Darren Miller, Soria Simmons, and Whitlock as well. Yep. So
Chloe Turner, Taylor Chang. I mean, there's
and Boyette as well, who showed some really good signs last year in a couple performances. So, this offense is red hot right now, and
they're very good.
Something
happened with the stream.
Looking forward to seeing for the first time.
For me, here's the other thing that's going USCB's way. They haven't had an overly easy schedule to start out the season either. They've had some tough opponents to start out the year, which I think is getting them ready for Peach Belt Conference play when it comes around. And then we're not that far out from Peach Belt starting. It's good to get some of those games in. Obviously, Shorter is not one of those tougher opponents. They've really struggled as a program the last few years. I mean, they only had 6 wins 2 years ago, 2 wins last year. And they still don't have a win this year. So hopefully they get their first win tomorrow against Allen. But on the other hand, USCB is continuing to be on a tear. They sit at now 8-3 going into tomorrow. So I'm very excited to see them play against an undefeated Southern Wesleyan. But my thing is they haven't had the easiest schedule. And so I think that's going to help them as Peach Belt Conference starts. And I'm not gonna lie. I really think this team is going to be a true competitor in the Peach Belt Conference this season. I think they're that good. I really do.
There's no reason why you can't believe that this team is going to be right in the thick of it with the way that they're swinging the bat. And it's sometimes you can be as good as your number one in the circle, and they have a true number one, and just to have it for another year, it's just very, very important for this Kodieski team, and she has been even better than when we've saw the last year, the year before that, and incredibly important. You need that stellar starter out there, so they have all the pieces right now that they need to contend, and I think they're even better and rise to the challenge that is Peach Belt softball.
Yeah.
I
By the
think
way,
this could be a really big year
yeah.
for this program before you get the opportunity to compete as a full-fledged Division II member. And yeah, looking forward to seeing them out there on the field tomorrow. First pitch at 3:00 in a doubleheader. So they take on the Warriors of Southern Wesleyan.
Yep, very excited.
Real
By the
quick,
way, one more thing before we continue.
Yeah.
I did want to share that Bluffton's own Alyssa Rose got some playing time today in
Nice.
game 1. So very happy to see her back on the field, and she's really improved from last season. So I'm excited to see her get some more playing time as the season continues.
Was that the first time you came on when she was at the plate and they walked it off? It was a bizarre game.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the walk-off wild
He took
pitch.
it-
the wild
or
hit
hit
by
pitch.
for a walk or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was crazy. All right, real quick before we turn the page, here we go.
Oh, there it is. No, that was.
Swing the high fly ball, deep left field. That ball is gone. The magical run continues. Mac Attack strikes again.
There it is, Mac Attack.
And it is
I like
7-0.
8-0 though, right?
8-0.
It's 8-0. Yeah, I made a mistake. I was looking at the scoreboard because they keep screwing up the scoreboard today. I don't know what was
Mac
going on.
Attack. I will have
The
to.
Mac Attack.
I'll have to remember to.
Yes,
put that
man,
one
you got to
into-
do it.
Yes.
It's worth it. It's what we need to call them now. We got to call
Yep,
them
Mac Attack.
It's what they are.
Oh boy, that's
They
loud.
hit you when you least expect it.
But with that, shout out to our sponsors tonight. Yes, nice call, Mad Max. Shout out to our sponsors, presenting sponsor tonight, the all-star sponsors, original sponsors of Loco Sports, Mickelson Law Firm. They've been with us since the beginning, supporting local sports coverage and helping us shine a light on teams and student athletes around the Loco. So call on them if you have legal needs. They're right in downtown Bluffton. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, but they help you with all the legal stuff. So if you got legal stuff, call on Mickelson Law Firm. And with that, we will shift gears to the high school hoops world, and we will welcome in our friend from WHHI, Mr. Marcus Walsh. What's up, buddy?
Tell you what, guys, it was a crazy day yesterday, and I was certainly glad, as well as you three, to not do a show yesterday because I got home. I was still amped up for about 20 minutes. I made myself a cup of tea, and then I was like, wow.
I was feeling a little tired and headachy last night. So
I think we all were.
It was
Not
a wild
me. I
night,
was
no matter
asleep.
where we were.
Yeah, dude, you were out. I was like, I think Justin's asleep on the group chat. And we were like, you know what?
It was a fun night.
Axe it tonight. We'll move it to tomorrow night.
I remember waking up a couple of times and seeing the score of the game and thinking, oh, okay, game's still going, so no show yet. It'll be okay. And then the next thing I knew, it was.
They never made that run.
I woke up at 3:45 a.m.
I was at a function Thursday night, so I was like I was watching the stream like from time to time, and then I drove over. It was still like a decent lead for Bluffton. When I came in, it was a tie game, or like maybe it was up by one. That was
you want to check out the highlights?
Yeah,
let's do it.
All
right, take it away.
Because I wasn't there.
Devon Livingston alongside his partner, Tony Red
Bruin.
Still glad that could happen.
Big Bruin, yeah, let's go.
That was everything but in, huh?
Yeah, right. There's Red.
And
one.
Oh, it was absolutely popping, especially when the Sharks made that run in the second half.
It was crazy.
Incredible atmosphere for a high school game.
They had the second floor packed, by the way.
Yeah. All the Bluffton fans were up in the second level, the other side of the May River Gym.
I anticipated this guy's game being, clutch and really, really good based off what Kevin and I saw the other night in the Bluffton matchup. That game was phenomenal, and this one was every bit as good.
A little bit of Javon, but not too much, so we can hear ourselves. Yeah, went kind of how I thought as far as the end result.
Yeah, I think Bluffton really controlled it the first half from what I saw.
Yeah.
They were rebounding well. At one point they were just making shots at will. Harry Skinner and other guys as well. They just found that stroke midway through. This is a nice bucket right here, right from the free throw line. Bluffton just really looked in sync for most of that half, and May River had some trouble hitting shots. They did make some threes late to stay in it, and that's ended up being really
important. They got the con at 3 going late.
Your Family Guy reference there.
Yeah. I mean, they made a bunch of them. We watched these highlights at school today. First block. Me and Kamari and Coach Rayleigh.
Oh, that's a
we
beautiful
were waiting
play.
for the late bus.
I love
May
seeing
River
that
runs
great
good
grip,
stuff.
Passing.
Yeah, May River runs good stuff. They're a really well coached team, fundamentally sound.
I think they're going to really shock some people in the playoff. Like, I don't think the rest of the lower state realizes like just how organized of a team they are.
Libby's on board with your.
You mean that guy? Right? You mean that guy right here, number 30?
Yeah, he's on board with your Steph comp.
Yep.
He likes it.
I don't mind it either.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Undersized.
Yeah.
Kind of combo guard.
And he can do a lot more than just shoot it now, which is something that
he finishes really well around the rim.
Yep. That's see right there, the assertive drive and that time it didn't go, but most times it does.
Didn't get the soft bounce that time, but they still got a bucket.
Yep. Yeah, and then they pursued well. They got some rebounds. That was the other thing that really stood out for me.
Yeah, they were in control at this point, up 9. May River's not necessarily a quick scoring team,
No, but when they can hit their threes, they can.
And they press pretty well too. So they pick their spots, and when they start hitting buckets and setting up the press, they'll steal a bucket here and there. They got great guard play.
Duncan's fantastic.
There they are. Duncan jumps on it. He'll steal a bucket every now and then.
They can steal quickly too. They can press.
Yeah. No, they're tough.
Get away very quickly. Oh my.
That's tough. Here it is again.
Circus shot there from Harry Skinner.
Now, did they broadcast the girls' game as well?
Yes.
Yes, they did. May River girls won that one.
And that's how they typically do it, much like us.
There,
they do
final
the
50
they always do both.
40.
Yeah.
52-40, May River over Bluffton. Bluffton is done for the year. They have missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. About that.
Surprisingly. Yeah.
Yep. Tough year for them. Rebuilding year for sure.
Yeah, they had some really great moments. I was super impressed with what Coach Coddington did in her first year. Not having seen them until as the year went on. The first time I got to see the Bluffton girls. Yeah, the first time I got to see them was against Buford just a couple of weeks ago when I actually went and scouted them to get ready for the matchups that I had this week. But really talented team. Obviously, a lot of talent led by Amira Brown.
Yes, but there's some others that have emerged as well. They just need some more development. They'll get there. They knew it was a rebuilding year, so I mean, they'll be a little more experienced next year, and I think they'll compete a little bit more in 2026. But this was May River's year on that in terms of that rivalry, and that's a girls team that could be an underdog in the playoffs, even where they are as a 3 seed right there. They can be sneaky.
Yeah. No, I've been super impressed with the job that Terry Kicks has done over there. It's been tremendous.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I had a feeling. She would be doing some good work for that program very quickly.
Duncan, Dalton, and Taylor really impressed me by the
So
numbers.
here we
And
go.
obviously, seeing them in person, those
All
three
right.
were phenomenal.
Let's get back to this the guys game, because this is where May River is going to make their run right here. And from what I heard, it was a crazy sequence, hit a bunch of threes in a row.
Oof. Yeah.
It starts soon.
Yeah, they started raining them. Got within 6. And then a steal. And a bucket.
Look at that.
Ooh,
That was a good
great.
take. I thought he was going to make an extra pass, but he must have seen the defense cheat that way and look at himself.
Great pass.
Oh, good
Oh,
pass.
Good luck.
Good pass.
Stopped the bleeding a little bit. But the shocks kept coming. The lead is safe in the defense. That's another good take.
God, what a
Nice float game. He's got a good float game.
He does.
Oh, way out, Dave. Oh, he was going for the Curry.
He can make those
You
shots.
heard your
too.
Curry
That's
camp.
crazy
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, that was it. That was in and out. I was halfway down. Would have been a dagger. Instead, May River pulls within 2. Harry right back at him. Swiped.
Round 2.
Pass it. Give it up. There we go. Oh, that was
my
sick by
goodness.
Skywalker. That was sick. That was a great play.
Skywalker. I forgot we call him that now.
Jedi. Bang. Andrew Johnson.
Andrew
Gone at
Johnson.
3. Gone at 3.
He's quite the player.
That gave him
as
the
well.
lead. He can
Up
shoot
by
it,
1.
man.
This is I
Yes,
think this
he
is right
can.
when I started coming
He's
in.
just a heck of an athlete, too. He's a good football player.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, May
nice.
River's got a
Going
ton
out.
of. All these teams have a ton of great football players that we see on the basketball court. But you're right, JJ. May River is definitely deep.
See what they're going to
Especially
do here.
considering-
There he is again. Bang.
Oh, on the side, I back
See
the
what
bench.
they're going to do
Yeah, I
here.
think the Bluffton fans as well.
Oh, I
my.
thought that one was going. That one had gone. Woo.
Yeah.
Would have popped the top off that place. What a find.
Nice.
That's a beautiful find. That was a big bucket, too.
Huge.
Yeah, they were
Absolutely
tied at
massive.
44 going into the fourth quarter. Yeah, me and Wes showed up right around the same time.
Yep. So
4.
May
Wow.
River had the early edge in the 4th.
Yeah, they were in control.
Well, I turned off my
minute.
stream so I could get from Buford to May River as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
And I get into the gym and I look at the score. I was like, that can't be right.
Right? What had happened?
What had happened?
Here is a JSM Jamari Stewart man.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Shut up.
sick. He makes a big 3 late,
Yeah,
too.
nice shot. Off the glass. Kiss off the glass.
Yeah, that was nice. He's such a good player. I wish he was a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Wish he was a baller. Wish I had.
Oh, there it is from me.
Oh, and if I did, I'd
Fill it
call him.
up.
There's me and Wes, by the way, by the blue wall.
Yeah, there you are. The crew.
Oh.
Oh,
Brandon
that's a great
White.
shot.
Guy
Wide open. And he nails it.
3. That's not necessarily his shot.
That's
Ordinarily,
exactly what I said. Like the unlikely guy to make a big 3-pointer in
Yeah.
that sense. Left him open and he drained it.
Which gym was louder?
Well, I'd probably say May River. Despite Bluffton taking both games, the energy I saw when I came in the building on Thursday was insane. But I'll tell you what, Bluffton had. But you
That
know,
place
both
was rocking.
Bluffton
fans,
was
both
rocking,
student
too.
sections were there on both games. So both of them came.
Yeah.
A lot of them came to both games. So it's really hard to really compare.
Right. Probably pretty
between
similar.
the two gyms, but I will say
May
that,
River gym's a little bigger because
Yeah.
you got that mezzanine level.
Right.
So there might have been more noise in there. I don't know. The acoustics are a little different too, but Bluffton it's cozy in there when it's packed.
Yeah.
I will say, at least from the WHHI experience, because I've filmed or I've actually called games in there enough that I'm not sure. I think Javon and Red were probably set up in the bleachers.
They set up
set
at the mezzanine at the top.
Okay, that's where
Yeah.
we set up in front of
Yeah.
the bleachers at the top, and
Yeah.
then when we're at Bluffton, we're on the side of the bleachers.
You can't even see
on
the game.
floor looking in. Well, we've got the monitor,
Yeah, I know, but you
That's
can't
just
actually see the
where
actual
we
game.
can
It's crazy.
where we end up posting up. So it is a little bit of a different environment. We feel more of what's going on at Bluffton because we're right next to the bleachers, as opposed to being up a little bit higher on the mezzanine. But what a special
Oh
week
no, let me tell you,
of,
Marcus,
of
you would have felt
basketball.
it.
My
You would have
goodness.
felt it last night on the mezzanine. Let me tell you, I'm pretty sure Javon
It
and
was rocking.
Red were feeling it last night because it was packed up there. And I mean,
I have no doubt, man. I have
I
no
love the
doubt. But
mezzanine.
it was rocking in Beaufort too. I mean, we're up on the mezzanine, the upper level there at Beaufort High, and it was rocking for both games. I tell you what, Beaufort with a gutsy win to come back from the 51-44 loss that they had just the other night. Huge 50-44 win on their side. They were only trailing by 12-10, certainly talking the girls, at the end of the first quarter, and then they just turned it on. They led 24-14 at half, 32-29. Hilton Head with a huge comeback, and then, into the third quarter and the fourth quarter, it was back and forth, back and forth. I mean, we were thinking, who's going to end up winning this game? Hilton Head had some great performances. Pan Cook was cooking with gas and titanium. She was just absolutely tremendous. We said that multiple times. Leah Jackson had a little bit of a rough night, which surprised me. Ashley Brothers stepped up. She was out for a little bit of a time during the game. Richard with a big game, but Amira Roten, we would have given the player the game to. She was phenomenal.
She's a
Her
baller.
shot
She is
was just going in constantly.
yeah.
On the other
She
side,
is a baller.
a lot of really good performances. I was pretty surprised that Zaria Coaxum struggled a little bit. We saw her against May River last week, and she was phenomenal. Davaria Smith was really good. Laney did some good things. A couple other players like Carson Crosby, who, especially in the first half, was
Yeah, she's
terrific.
good.
But the player that really showed up, especially in the second half and especially late, we ended up nicknaming her Clutch, was Hayward. We ended up talking to her after the game.
Ninth
That
grader.
girl can ball, and we've got 3 more years of her.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was definitely a fun girls game, and then we get to the guys, and
She been coming to one Loco training. Hayward and LeBoy been
Yes.
coming to one Loco training.
Awesome stuff. We get to the guys, and Hilton Head came out with a little bit of a swagger at the beginning of the game. It was tight early, 17-12 at the end of the first quarter. Samari Bonds made some huge plays throughout the entire night, and obviously you take a look at what Amani Cleckley can do, and he was solid to say the least throughout the entire night. But then Hilton Head really put it on them. They ended up leading 39-21 at the half. But Beaufort came back and made it really interesting, especially into the fourth quarter. They were still down big after 3, 59-36, but they were starting to get their edge going. They cut it to within 10, might have even been 9. And I was going so nuts that Larry Jacomot turned over. He was sitting to Kevin's right and my far right, and he turned over to me and he was like, "Are you okay?" He mouthed it, of course. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." But I was going crazy just because of what we were seeing. Back and forth it went. I mean, obviously, Hilton Head with a lot of great talent as well. Josh Hunter really impressed me, especially early. The May River transfer had a really solid night. Obviously, Tajay Wright, we talked about ad nauseum, especially in the pregame and early on. But Kyrese Bowman had huge plays throughout the entire game. We talked to him after the game as he was our player of the game. And so, despite the final score, 76-59, which looks like a blowout on paper, Beaufort came and they were ready to play. And for senior night, they showed up. They gave it all they could, but it was just kind of the way their season went. They had a really tough season, unfortunately. And we've talked about it ad nauseum over the course of the basketball
They
season.
were competitive
and
as
the
it went
football
along. I
season.
thought they got better. They just weren't able to get those wins.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I talked to Wayne Quinlan.
That
He was my
Comes to a
special guest
merciful end.
in
Yeah, well,
the
sometimes it
second
does.
quarter.
Yeah, mix of relief, but also it's tough to see them that way.
Yeah.
But I will say they competed the last couple of games. They nearly got Bishop England. They lost by 2 at Bishop England. And River they weren't close in, but the last, yeah, it was a tough one. Just a tough year for
rough
Buford.
year.
They had a couple ones that came close to winning, especially the College County and Bishop England games. And able to really find enough to get to the top there and pick up some of those region victories. But for Buford, some positive signs. I think there were some guys that really started to define their games as it went on, and you try to build some of that into next season and into spring sports. So I think there's also a lot to be excited about for Buford heading to baseball and soccer season, and that girls basketball team, which is going to host a playoff game.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Wayne was talking about some of that with me as well. In terms of spring sports, he's really excited for that. He had obviously some great things to say about what's going on with Buford. We were able to touch on that a lot. And it was great to, have him join me in the second quarter. I was so enamored with what was going on in the game, and you guys will see it here in about the next week or so when we start airing it on WHHI. But I took about 25 seconds at the end of the game within the last minute to talk about our friend Tim Alonso and certainly give, my condolences and my thoughts on him. Kevin never had a chance to meet him in person. So I had to, educate Kevin a little bit too of just the kind of kid that Tim was. Meant to do it, of course, during the Buford or the Bluffton May River games that we had on Tuesday, but that game got in the way. I actually had some time with the way the final ended up, where I'm like, I got to get this in. This is really important. I talked to Andrea as well earlier in the day, and she appreciates everything continuously that we're doing. And it was very important to get that message out, especially to the WHHI folks that probably didn't know who Tim Alonso was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Appreciate that. But yes, you mentioned the playoffs, Wes. Playoffs. We got playoff brackets. I'm assuming JP2 ended up losing that game. The stream went out on this, so we lost that. But we'll see if we can find the final. But here's your 4A boys bracket. Bluffton drawing the 3 seed and a region rematch with Bishop England. Which is the weird thing about this new bracketing system.
Yeah, you can get those right away now, because
it's
it's not region based anymore. Well, it is, but it's not like placing.
But
you won't play
right. Well, because the RPI comes into play.
It's be different. So, yeah. So we got you mentioned Bluffton hosting Bishop England. That's never a gimme especially for a team that you've played a couple times before, because they know more about you. So Bluffton's going to have to be on their game from the outset if they want to advance here. May River Darlington, the 5-12 matchup.
Winner gets gray.
Winner gets gray collegiate. Oh boy. And then Hilton Head, heading to South Florence, which is not an easy game for them either. But we'll see. And if they win that one, they'll probably get North Augusta. So have fun.
And they beat Gray. Good luck there. So it's looking like a pretty tough draw for the Loco squads. I mean, Bluffton's gonna have to get through Wilson, which is always tough. But they'll get them at home. But then they might have to go to Crestwood, which could be tough. I mean, they could get out of that bracket potentially.
Yeah,
I think
Bluffton,
North Augusta is very good, if I'm not mistaken.
They're one of the better teams in South Carolina this year, and have a real chance at running through this thing. But
they're number 2. Crestwood's number 3. Gray's number 4. Bluffton's number 6. So they're gonna have
I think Bluffton's
to earn their way through.
I think Bluffton has a decent opportunity to make it through this first week.
I do
but
too.
They're never easy. Even the first game's never going to be easy against the Bishop England squad. They only beat them by around 10. The first, or maybe a little bit more.
Wilson's number 8, by the way.
Yeah, Wilson's number 8, so that one could be quite a tough
I'm gonna
test.
put this out there, by the way. The
Yeah.
North Augusta has one loss on the year. That one loss
Yeah.
came to Great Collegiate.
Ooh.
So,
Oh boy.
and it was only
Yeah,
a
that's
4-point game.
the top half is a murderer's row almost in that bracket.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is.
I still like
Yeah.
Bluffton's chances, although yes, agreed. Wilson
Yeah,
is very difficult to play
I think they have a shot. I mean, Crestwood's sort of beatable.
Very good.
I
Yeah.
definitely think they
I
could
think
have a chance
Bluffton's
to
very
beat
good.
the lower
So,
state
I mean,
champions.
they have
They
2
the
losses.
opportunities
They only
there.
have 2 losses, and they're to Prep and
they do.
Hilton Head
They
High,
do.
and they avenge both of them. So,
Right.
I think they're a team that we're probably gonna have to apply for the dang credentials.
Yeah,
I mean,
because we have
if
to
they can
appeal
get through
before.
Wilson,
Yeah, so because that's
if
how
they
we
can
do it
get through
now.
Wilson, more than
You have to make
likely
sure to
they'll-
apply even before the teams are officially clinch their spots, which is the way it is right now. But
Even Marcus
or
and
Jim
Kevin are
Buford.
getting the "Hey Loco" treatment now.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
Loco.
love
I had
it.
to tell him
Yes.
we do stuff with Loco, but we had our WHHI TV flag flying.
By the
Yeah.
way,
out there.
is it like last year
SU
where
for
the
last night.
semis are the lower state final or upper state final at the Florence Center as well?
I think so.
Yes,
Because there's been
that's
no
correct.
confirmation by the high school league in terms of where
Larry's
that is.
Larry's been peppering me with that information, making sure that I get that out on the last couple of broadcasts that we had.
Yeah.
Florence Center.
Yep. Lower
Okay,
state,
I'm assuming
and then
that's the
finals
semifinals and
as well.
finals were. That was what was last year. Like I said, no, I haven't seen any confirmation about this year yet. That's something that you would think they would put on.
I think
Yeah.
I like Bluffton's chances because, well, I mean, more than likely, if they make it through the first 2 rounds, they probably will play Crestwood. Now,
Right.
Crestwood has 3 losses on the year.
To
Those
North
3
Augusta and Great Collegiate. No, just kidding.
No, it's not, believe it or not. It is to Darlington, Keenan,
Yeah.
and ACA.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Well, Darlington's tough. Keenan's okay. They're pretty tough, and ACA is real tough. So
Yes.
Darlington's tough too. That won't be an easy task for
I mean,
River.
it goes the same way
Um,
for Bluffton. Their 2 losses came against very tough opponents. I mean, Hilton
So
has a
it
tough
looks
team
like
to play.
Creeks region hasn't put out their seeding yet, but they're going to be
Well,
fourth, right?
Yeah, they're fourth.
So they're
and
going to
kinda-
go to Dillon.
Yeah, the girls are gonna go to Dillon.
This
The
is the guy.
guys, it looks like it's either going to be. Let me look up what I put down here.
Guys,
They're going to go to
read it.
Dillon too.
Yeah, they're gonna go. Okay,
Yeah.
they're gonna go Dillon. The girls
Yeah, they
are
swept
going to
Hanahan,
go
so
to
they
Loris.
finished
Okay,
fourth.
sorry,
Oh,
yeah, the
did
guys
they?
are gonna
Oh,
go to Dillon.
wow. Okay.
The girls will be at Loris.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't know they swept Hanahan. To be honest, we haven't really talked enough about Battery Creek basketball lately.
Yeah, they're in a tough
Well,
region.
yeah.
They're a solid team, but they're in a very tough region, especially really
Yes.
both of those teams.
Which
But the
puts
guys
this in mind.
especially.
I think
Yeah.
I think
the
they can
girls
go
are pretty
deeper
tough
than
too.
people. I think for Battery Creek, if they face the right opponents, they could go deeper than we
Yeah,
realize.
the
Even
Yeah.
though it's a tough region
the
they
girls'
played in.
region is difficult as well. Oceanside is a
Yeah.
powerhouse on both sides, and there's a
I
quality
mean,
team in there. So
the
getting in
issue
is
for them is
getting in the
oh, well,
playoffs.
no,
That's a good
Dillon boys
accomplishment for
aren't
both of those teams, and we'll
For
see
sure.
if they can steal some, steal one or
Wait,
two.
So
Hampton
there you
County's
go.
playing
Hey, if they win a playoff game,
Yeah.
that's a memorable year.
How about that? That's a
We got
rematch right there.
another region rematch right there. Hampton and Edisto in round 1.
Hampton Edisto,
And
yes,
then-
and
Wow.
Edisto is. I mean, they got in via at-large status, so
Right.
But hey,
They
it's
were
a
in a
region.
tough
It's a
region
region rematch. Like I said, those are never
Right.
especially your team that beat them. They know more about you. It's harder to beat them again.
Yep.
That's
So
the,
Bridges Prep
And
would play.
and our boy
Bridges Prep-
Singleton is the coach. Our boy Singleton from Estill
Um,
a couple years
yeah,
ago is the
I
coach
believe
at
it's either
Estill.
Timberland or Burke, the team that Bridges Prep plays.
Yeah, Timberland might be. I think it's Timberland.
I think it
So
is
I'm
Timberland
very
just because of the
intrigued.
tiebreaker, but I wasn't.
I'm
I wasn't gonna-
intrigued in a potential Bridges Prep ACA game in round 2 because
Hmm.
Bridges Prep, as we know, is capable on any given night of looking like a real world beater. And so if they can really bring it, it'd be interesting to see if they might be able to clear a path for Hampton.
By the way, I
that
just
doesn't
realized
include ACA.
Hampton's got home advantage if they continue to win.
They
They
do.
do. They do throughout the playoffs until the
And the
finals,
lower
which
state-
the lower state finals, if they make it there, would be at
Yeah.
the Florence Center, but
Yep.
they got a decent path ahead of them.
They do.
But Edisto, that's never an easy pushover, easy one.
And
And then
Andrew
who would
Jackson.
the number 2 team from Region 6? Who would
Yeah,
that be?
I'm not sure who that would be. Manning's in there, Mullins is
It'll
in
be
there.
between. I don't know what one.
Philip Simmons is going to be one of those
Yeah,
teams.
yeah,
Maybe the
It
one
might be
seed.
the 2. Either the 2 or the 3 for Philip Simmons, right?
I don't know the standings in that region at all.
We'll let you know in a
They're
second.
not up yet. They must have gotten hit with snow the hardest, so they haven't even finished up their games yet. Maybe, possibly.
No,
They
I
should
mean, I
be
don't know
close.
about
They
that.
should be close. Today's the last possible scheduled
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
They just
For
might have
should be
games
done
going
by
in.
Yeah,
today,
so-
for sure.
Let me look
Right.
here.
I'm working on it. I'm
So
almost
Simmons
there.
is number 1. Timberland's 2. Timberland and Burke are
Yeah.
tied for second. Or Timberland will probably get that 2 spot. Or actually, Burke will get that 2 spot. Timberland 3 most likely. In Region 6.
Timberland and Bridges Prep. Bridges Prep better bring it, or else they're gonna have some
Yeah.
serious issues even in the first round.
So the number 2 team out of Region 6 will probably be Burke.
I think Burke will
yeah.
be the 2 because they won by more
Yeah.
against Timberland and
So
Timberland.
it'll be Burke and Marion. Ooh.
That's a gettable. That's certainly a gettable part.
Burke's
Burke's
okay,
a
but
decent year. They're 16-9.
they're usually pretty good at basketball.
Yeah.
Timberland.
One sport they're usually pretty good at.
Bridges Prep and
And
Timberland.
Andrew
Bridges Prep's
Jackson.
gonna really need to strap up their
But
boots.
I don't think it's a real rough and tumble path for them.
No, I think it's certainly
Andrew
gettable.
Jackson's
Yeah, I
number
think
4. Hampton County number 3. Andrew Jackson number 4.
in
So that's
terms
a
of
Donnybrook in round 3.
most likely high school league teams right now, Hampton boys, I think have got to be at the top at
I
this
think
point
so.
in terms of
Yeah.
Yeah.
likelihood.
I would agree.
They don't
with
see
that.
anyone
Like,
ranked
not
ahead of
what
them
it
until the
always
lower
is.
state
3A,
finals.
I mean, they might, out of all the teams that are in this.
Yeah, I think
tournament,
but I don't know.
Hampton
I think Hampton County boys have the easiest path in terms of difficulty, but
Yeah, they
also just
crawled out
how they've
well.
been playing recently. They've been on a hot
Yeah.
streak. So don't sleep on the
Crawled out
Hurricane.
really
Don't
well.
sleep on Hampton County, especially the guys. Let's go over the one thing I couldn't. It wasn't even complete the last time
They
I
haven't
saw.
filled
so
in a whole lot. Original to go to
yeah.
Carver's Bay, and we're out, so that's all we really got.
Yeah, we don't really care. Yeah, next.
Yeah, 1A is kind of meh because Carver's Bay's good, so they're gonna
Probably
kind of
16.
clock. They're probably gonna clock Ridgeland.
4A girls.
Here we go.
Beaufort's
there
our
we
only
go.
team that's hosting in 4A girls.
Wait,
Yeah, they got Airport.
did Bluffton not get in?
Bluffton.
No.
That's right.
Did
They
not
did not.
make
didn't get in.
Wow.
No, May River,
That's been
Beaufort,
mentioned
Bishop
several times,
England,
Max.
Beaufort. Yeah, keep
Huh?
up, buddy. That's been mentioned
Sorry,
multiple
I
times
must have missed
tonight.
it on the group chat.
No, I mean we were talking about it earlier tonight.
We've been talking
on the
about it
show.
in the last
You spaced
45
out
minutes.
for a second.
Yeah,
You
I did
spaced out
space
for a second. Beaufort, Bishop England, Hilton Head, and May River took those spots. So Bluffton was
Okay.
out of it.
They did, yeah. It was a tight battle just to get into that number 16 spot. And there's some quality teams, or at least some teams on the up and up over there. But
Yeah.
good to see Beaufort get that 2 seed. He'll get to host the Airport in that first round. May River,
Unfortunately, in round
I
2
like
they'll
their
have to
chances
go to
against
Bishop
Aiken. I think
England.
that'll be a really good game, really competitive game over there. Hilton Head at Bishop England. Hey, they almost beat him. They played him close. That's potential upset potential right there.
You know who's going to be the biggest Hilton Head fan in the world on Tuesday? Reggie Jones.
Reggie
Oh, yeah.
Jones. Oh,
Yeah.
because yeah, we could see if Hilton Head knocks off Bishop England, Lowco on Lowco.
Yeah, that'd be dope. At Beaufort, at the Mass.
Yep.
When
Oh,
would
that'd be
that
good
game
stuff.
be? If
That
that
would
was to
be
happen,
on
do we
It'd be
know when that
21st,
would
which
be?
is
Thursday.
Friday.
Or Friday.
Oh.
Friday at Beaufort.
But we need Hilton Head to pull
We
the
an
upset,
upset,
for
which
that
is,
to happen.
I mean,
Let's
it's
go.
A
possible
massive
but
upset.
unlikely. And
That
then
would
if
be
Beaufort holds
huge
serve against
upset,
Airport,
too.
but I kind of think Hilton Head has the potential to do so. Not saying that they will, but I feel like, I mean, they almost beat him the second time around.
True.
They've got some tremendous underrated players. especially if the shooting stays at high level with players like Amara Roten or Richard, and they're able to hit some shots, and even like Onan, who made some shots a couple games ago. And then Leah Jackson. Leah Jackson is a top-notch defender, top-notch rebounder. So I think the
Without
potential
question.
upset is right there with
And again,
Justin, I just want to.
Wes, I was surprised. If I can cut in here for just a second, Max, I was surprised at how she struggled in that game last night. I'm right there with you, though, Wes. She's one of the best players overall. I think
was
that
able
they
to take her
have,
away.
and her ability to do just about everything on the floor.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I just want to show that the fact that Bishop England is the number 3 seed in that bracket just shows how strong Lower Richland and North Augusta's regions are, and how good of a team
they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's be honest, Bishop England has been a basketball powerhouse, at least a girls' basketball powerhouse.
This region, they Hilton did test them, but other than that,
they breezed through it.
Who was it? Lower Richland and North Augusta. Yeah, they're ranked 2nd and 3rd in the state right now. North Augusta 2nd, Lower Richland, or actually they're tied for 2nd. Sorry.
And what rankings?
4A girls. Yeah, in the South Carolina Basketball Coaches Association.
Who's first?
I don't have it in front
of me. South Point.
Oh, okay. Wait.
That's statewide.
Girls, right?
Huh? This is 3A girls.
Oh,
yeah,
3A
girls.
We were just talking about 4A girls.
This is 3A girls.
Sorry.
You see Battery Creek going to Loris in round 1. Probably going to be an early exit for them. They're fortunate to be in the playoffs. That was the goal. Probably the goal for them this season really was to get there. First year coach, building it back up. 2A, you got Hampton will be at home against whoever's 3rd in that region, 6. I don't know offhand. Whale Branch also getting a home game against Kingstree out of that region. Bridges did not qualify for the playoffs. Hampton, Lake City in round 2. How good's Lake City?
Lake Marion and North Central.
Lake City's number 4 in girls 2A, so that'll be a tough one on the road for them if they can get through that. Yeah, and Lake Marion
played well this year, though. I'm going to give them that.
Yeah, they've had a really solid year. Really solid year. Both sides, girls and boys.
Do we even need to look at 1A brackets?
We can look at 1A. Well, Ridgeland girls are not terrible. They're not bad. In fact, we're not sure yet if they're going to be the 3 seed or the 4 seed. It was dependent on results tonight, but I think the 3. So I think they're going to host Johnsonville in round 1.
Bamberg's 1.
Denmark's the 1. Bamberg's the 2. Yeah, Denmark won the region in both. Had the player of the year and the coach of the year in both. They're exceptional. Our old friend Josh Goodwin, formerly of Hampton, now at Denmark, was the region player of the year, by the way.
Wow.
I served as basically the region secretary, and I wrote down the teams and emailed them out to the coaches and ADs afterwards. So I can let you in on that. But it was a split decision between Goodman and his teammate Terrence Hinton, who's the proverbial stir that straws the drink for Denmark. Denmark's very, very good, boys and girls.
Well,
the stir that straws the drink, is that what it said? The straw that stirs the drink.
Yes, you did.
I say it backwards half the time. The straw that stirs the drink. The stir that straws the drink. Yeah, I say it backwards about half the time.
In summary, I think Hampton County right now has the best looking road towards the Lower State Finals.
Well, and that's what Kevin Libby asked. Yeah, I think Hampton County boys. I don't think any girls really have a path.
No, Hampton girls might if
they probably have the best.
Possibly, but they have a lot.
They probably have the best shot, but I don't think it's a good shot. I think it's just the boys.
Yeah,
I think that my dark horse team would be Battery Creek. Now, I think they're a very solid team. They've been in probably the toughest region in 3A basketball this year, if not just Lower State. By far the toughest region in Lower State. But
Oh, I don't know the 4A region players of the year. Do you guys know?
No, I
I
don't know.
haven't seen
yet. I
anything.
have not seen anything.
I only know the
Um,
1A region players of the year
All
because I was at
region,
that
yeah.
region meeting.
But I think Batty Creek, we haven't talked enough about them, especially since the tournament.
No, they've had a solid year. Yeah.
They've had an okay year. But granted,
Yeah.
they've had to play Oceanside Collegiate as well as Orangeburg Wilkinson and North Charleston.
And North
Three of the
Charleston.
top 10 teams in the state. So like I really do think that through those challenges.
No, they're battle tested. Yeah.
Yeah, they're battle tested, and I think they're my dark horse to make a run in the playoffs and see if they can go at least into the third round. Because I really do think they could.
All right. SCISA time?
Yeah, SCISA, why not?
SCISA time?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I was going to mention a couple of wrestling things first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we had the 4A lower state qualifier is underway tonight in Hartsville. May River has 7 in the semifinals. Everybody's still in it because nobody got. Well, actually, you could have been eliminated tonight, I think, if you lost your first 2.
You lost both
But
of them.
all the May River guys are still in. Stefano Calderon at 106, Ryan Seaman at 113, Marcus Folk at 120, Thomas Bro at 138, Blake Butler at 150, Laranega at 175, Echeverria at 170 or 157, and then Echeverria at 175, all through to the semis for May River. Let's see here. Bluffton's got 3 in the semis. It would be Eli Garcia, my guy from McCracken last year at 113. Gabe Fulton at 165 and Oscar Roman at 106. And let's see if anybody else. Buford's got 2 in there. Colton Freeman at 190, and I'm going to guess McKnight. Yeah, McKnight at 144. Hilton Head with 2. They got Bryce Stevenson at 113 and Malachi Bynum at 215. And Carleton County's got 2. Jordan LaPresta. Yeah, Jordan LaPresta at 132. And Stefan LaPresta at 190. Bubba. Their dad's the coach. He's a big jiu-jitsu, martial arts guy, big wrestling guy up in Walterboro. Good dude, Stefan LaPresta. His son, Stefan, also is known as Bubba. And he's very, very good. I think he's ranked first in the state, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, he's exceptional. So that's where what's going on with the wrestling. So I just want to get that in there. Shout out a couple of sponsors. Hudson Seafood House on the Box is back for another year on the Lowco Booster Club. We appreciate them, and we love to go see them for sunsets. They're a great spot for brunch. Go catch brunch.
It's almost starting to warm up.
Brunch.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great spot for any time of day. You can eat at Hudson's. Go sit outside and see the sunset and get some great local seafood, cocktails, and much more. Presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. We had a new episode this week. I got to sit in for Curry because he was getting gremlined, and it was fun times. But Curry should be back next week for Under the Bus. So shout out to Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. We appreciate you. We've got some other Lowco Booster Club sponsors as well. We've got Base Hit Life, where you can get your baseball and softball themed apparel, like Max's Calm Your Mitts hoodie there. Live your best base hit life and get looking stylish at basehitlife.com this season. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor, you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, getting your floor so clean, your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Great place to hang out with the fellas, especially this time of year. They like to talk NBA in the barbershop. Barbershop loves NBA.
All-Star Weekend
like
on the NBA this
celebrity games tonight.
Lots of fun stuff going on in the NBA. But
that's still mind blown with all the trades before the deadline. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God!
It was kind of head spinning.
Yeah,
it was a little head spinning. Yeah. You wanted SCISA brackets?
Yes, let's open up SCISA time.
I'm working on it.
Already seeing progress with the girls. The girls started today.
Right. Boy, these brackets are awkward.
That's SCISA.
Like, do we have to put them in 86-point Comic Sans? What
Like
are
a
we doing?
Seinfeld line of Loco Sports
Yeah.
2025. Boy, these brackets are awkward.
They are
Obviously
though. Like
referencing these pretzels are making me
these
thirsty.
pretzels are
That's
making me
SCISA for ya.
thirsty.
But
These
again,
brackets.
Justin, that's SCISA for you, man.
But like,
That's
why is it
SCISA
in
for you.
giant type? Like, what are we
That's the
doing?
way they've always done it.
I know. It's
Why
silly.
are we still using the Sumter Civic Center? I don't understand.
All right, so Hilton Head Christian. Oh, that's boys. They ain't played yet. They play tomorrow.
Yep, boys start tomorrow.
At
For
1:30.
the girls, on the other hand, the girls, goodbye. Good night.
Oh yeah, they're both in.
Well,
the same
we only
one.
had one survive tonight. That is Patrick
That's the
Henry.
boys. Oh, I accidentally closed it off.
Hold on.
Sorry, boys. Yeah, Patrick Henry girls got through. Colleton Prep and JP2 both lost.
I did not see a final for JP2, but they're trailing by a good amount in the fourth quarter. I did not see the final there, but I know that First Baptist got the better of Hilton Head Christian Academy, and First Presbyterian beat Colleton Prep by 2.
Oh, 2?
Yep.
Oh,
31-29.
2.
Yep. Miss Belinda's out.
That's rough.
Miss Belinda's out. JP2, yeah, I don't have a final yet, but we saw them down about 10 late. So I'm thinking it probably didn't work out for them. So, yep. There they are.
Good win for
They were playing Porter Goud. So
moving on. 56-39.
Porter Goud will move on. Let's see here.
I actually got to some more info of that game from our friend
Here's
the
the
Stricklander.
bracket. Hilton Head Prep awaits the Florence Christian Calhoun winner in the 3A bracket. We saw Colleton Prep taken out. Patrick Henry will now take on Spartanburg Christian.
And by the way, big night for Emily Stanley with 18. Added in a couple of assists, and then 4 in double figures. Also, we saw Mills Lucas, Lillian Lucas, and Lainey Futch also with 11 each. So good, solid night across the board for Patrick Henry.
Can I be honest? I don't know if we want to look. I think we know who's winning out of the 3 boys.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they should cakewalk through that half at least.
I'm really get the girls, the guys here, or the boys.
This is the guys.
Yes,
this is the guys, but then they'll have to deal with Christian Academy at Myrtle Beach at some point, most likely.
Well, it would be in the championship.
PD Academy is also strong as well.
Yeah.
We're talking about Patrick Henry.
Orangeburg Prep, I don't think we need to worry about.
No, we were talking about Hilton Head Prep.
Yeah. Orangeburg Prep. I like Hilton Head Prep over most of the. Christian Academy might give them a run if they make it over there, but I think Hilton Head Prep has. Yeah. They look like the team to beat, especially with Hartberg. He's probably the best player on the floor. I mean, you have the best player on the floor. Hilton Head Prep is normally done
usually
pretty well.
helps.
Hey.
Yeah.
Patrick Academy.
All right, here we go. 2A.
2A.
Cross girls in the 1 seed.
Shocker.
They should be good there.
Yeah.
Dorchester, yeah. I don't think they're going to have any trouble. I think they're going to be all right.
Well,
I don't see.
Yeah, no.
I don't see who would get them. We'll see. They might sleepwalk a 3-1 and get stunned. Look at this. Look at this gripping 2A boys bracket.
16 bracket here. We got
no, we got 8. No, we got 16.
Okay.
We got 16. Never mind. This is the lower state bracket.
Oh, this okay. We do have a full bracket.
Oh, jeez. I was about to say. I mean, at this point,
we'll have seen it before in other sports where you have like a 4 or 16 bracket.
Well, it's not a full 16 bracket. We got to buy.
Is there? I'm sorry. Is there?
Hayward's a 1
ever
seed.
a situation where there's a team who doesn't make the playoffs these days in SCISA? I really feel like there.
Yeah, it seems like not real. Well, Hilton Head Christian didn't.
Yeah, they did. Boys did.
Oh yeah, they did. They did. They didn't make the region tournament, but they made the state tournament. What are we doing?
What is going on, man? SCISA gets worse every year. Who's cross playing again?
Cross girls or boys?
Boys.
They play Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Good
friend from Savannah.
Yeah, they're in
Bethesda,
trouble.
Actually, now that I think about it, Bethesda might be a team worth watching in this playoffs.
Yep.
They're a
They'll be
strong looking
dangerous.
team.
Andrew Jackson's not bad, and then Cathedral's pretty good. Thomas Hayward's a 1 seed, so
Did Bethesda not push Helmet Prep a little bit when they played each other?
no.
No, Prep ran all over him.
Yeah,
Okay.
crushed them. Yeah.
It may have just been St. Andrews then.
And we don't care about 1A, but
Nobody in 1A.
except for Ragin' Prep. I'm a huge fan of Ragin' Prep just because their name is
Sorry,
hilarious.
Ragin' what now?
Ragin' Prep. RAGIN. There you go.
Oh,
Ragin'
okay.
Prep.
That's
Ragin'.
hilarious. That's a sick
Ragin'
name.
Prep.
I love that. Where do
I
you
love
go to
Ragin'
school? I
Prep.
go to
Cool.
Ragin' Prep.
I love Ragin' Prep. Great.
Oh, Richard Wynn in there? Okay.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah. I
Ragin'
love
Prep.
Ragin' Prep.
1A boys, oh boy.
Mead
Makes me
Hall,
laugh
too.
every time. So there you go. There's your brackets. With that, gentlemen,
Guys get
it's
started tomorrow.
10:07.
Indeed.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, as you mentioned, we got USCB baseball down at Florida Southern for another one. Southern Wesleyan softball coming into USCB, coming to the Ville. Then Sandchurch basketball on the road at North Georgia tomorrow afternoon.
I'll tell you what,
and
the guys'
some
game should be a ton of
Giza
fun.
boys.
Just barely escaped what would have been a heartbreaking loss at Georgia College with that
Yeah.
half-court buzzer beater to force
Yeah.
overtime. St. Sharks got out of there somehow with a win. North Georgia's going to be even tough. They're going to have to. You'd love to see them start on time and not go down by 10 or 15. Although North Georgia could very well do that and push USCB to play from behind. But once again, you never count them out. That's the thing. If they get down the second half, even if it's down by like 15 or 20, you can never count them out. But North Georgia, I expect them to rise to potentially another level in a game where they're going to want to try to get USC back. So Sandchurch going to have to be on their best game on Saturday. Should be an electric one over there. And look forward to see how the ladies do as well. See if they can get that's a tough one for them as well. It'll be a challenging one on the road. But hey, the guys team continuing to battle and continuing to find a way to win. And this would be to sweep North Georgia, which we have a chance to do tomorrow, would be a heck of an achievement this year.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Very good. Wow, how about that? I just got a nice note from Ty Harpering. He tunes in frequently and
Thanks.
appreciates all the shout outs, and he would love to come back on the show sometime soon and talk with us.
This is the time
Yeah,
to do it.
we'll hook it up, definitely.
Yep.
We'll make it happen during the playoff run. So appreciate that, Ty. And
Absolutely.
we certainly have enjoyed watching you play this year, and look forward to seeing where you end up playing your ball next year. But all right, fellas, any parting thoughts before we call it a night?
Just looking forward to playoff basketball. I mean, it's been a great season filled with great tournaments and whatnot. Obviously, I've seen a ton of it, both calling it and scouting. And tell you what, if there's a chance that we see a Hilton Head Beaufort girls game next Friday, I might have to get out there.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be awesome. But certainly good luck to everybody. Certainly a few teams have already played, getting underway in SCISA playoffs, but good luck to everybody. And I say it ad nauseum, but the kids and the coaches and the fans make what we do certainly worth it, because I mean, it just makes this job and this experience phenomenal, just with how great they are. And they're here for the moment, and so are we. I say it all the time too. We're here to celebrate them. So if I'm calling play by play and I'm hooting and hollering, which I always do, it's not about me. It's about them.
That's right. Amen, brother. Amen. That's why we do it. Shine a light on that.
You know what it's like too, JJ, on the college
I mean, it's
level.
fun. We do it because it's fun, because we enjoy
amazing.
it. But we do it because like we go out there and they entertain us and they amaze us and they so we just come and we celebrate that.
Yeah, and that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. This time of year is the best. The excitement when you get to the playoffs, every game, win or go home, just ups the ante even further every time. I'll tell you the heartbreak when you don't come on the right side. I just remember one of the most sad moments I had was that Bluffton lost last year. The girls, when they fell short barely, that was it was just the energy wiped out, that the emotion wiped out of that gym. Man, that was tough to see, because that team, Takoya Hayward had such a great career. He just losing at home. That's losing home in the playoffs is never fun.
The worst ones for me have always been the state championship losses. The
The
championship game
one at the
losses.
top is Hilton at South Point.
Hilton Head, yeah. I wasn't there for that one. You were. That one was
that's as painful
really
as it gets.
painful.
That's as painful as it gets.
I remember watching Nick Pringle cry when he went to get the runner-up trophy after they lost to Gray. I remember seeing the Hardyville girls come up short a couple of times the first time around. And those ones always hit me the hardest, because you got to stand in that dang hallway at Colonial Life Arena and wait for these sad people to come out of the locker room crying, and then you got to stick a microphone in their face. And I always felt bad about that.
The only time I went to, during my later years of high school, Hilton Christian Academy's volleyball program made it to multiple state championship appearances. And I remember we went all the way up to Cardinal Newman in Columbia just to watch them lose in 3 sets.
Stinks.
It
stinks to lose that one.
It's tough.
Well, and Buford getting run off the field by South Point too. That one was miserable.
Oh,
just absolutely miserable.
Yeah, but they came back the next year and won it, so it kind of you forgot.
That made up for it.
That's the goal.
Oh yeah,
that is the goal.
That made up for it. But it's
you come back.
Yeah,
and
who cares now?
Out of everyone.
It's so crushing though. You're so hyped up. It's the state championship, and then you just get beat, and it's just so deflating.
But then, like if you lose, it puts a chip on your shoulder.
Right,
for sure.
Yeah, we are going to be.
There's a certain beauty to it.
That's why everyone feels bad for the Bills, who come so close every year the last couple of seasons, and even the image of Stephon Diggs watching the confetti in Kansas City, and it's not like I use that point to say that it's never guaranteed you come back. That's especially
how about that
where you only get a couple of shots. There's no guarantee you get back.
One in the rain. That was a crazy game.
Dude,
there's no guarantee you get the Christian Academy game. That was crazy.
The collegiate game.
They threw for 500 yards.
My brother, the redhead, was on their offensive line.
That game was he was. That was nuts.
And that was absolutely insane. But then there are ones where you're on the other side. You're on the it's the elation side, and there were a few. The one that sticks out to me was Joel Fleek, Mary River Soccer, when he scored 2 in the last minute. He was against, but that was one of the craziest high school moments I've remembered. That was insane, and there were some others as well. I mean, the Hilton Christian County Scholar Smith with the game winner. That was probably good. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was insane. Because Hilton Christian was up like 20, and then Spartanburg rallied.
Oh yeah,
like insanely.
That game was crazy.
Come back, and then Skylar Smith hit that 3 to put him up. That was a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game.
That Trinity Collegiate Hilton Christian game in the rain, pouring rain, by the way, almost like hurricane weather rain. In November. My brother called me. They had to stop at a Walmart because him and my parents and my sister had to get new clothes because their clothes were soaking wet. And my brother calls me crying. He's like, I didn't get it done. I was like, well, you played. By the way, he played that entire game with a broken foot.
Oh, geez.
On the offensive line. Yeah, he had a broken foot that entire game. And he called me. He was like, I didn't get it done. I was like, but you came damn close to it, man.
That was a great game.
That Trinity Collegiate team was something.
Yeah, else. Went to overtime. The Trinity missed a field goal in regulation. Went to OT, and then Hilton Christian couldn't come up big in overtime, which was tough to see because Hayden Chen, one of the best performances you've ever seen a loss.
Oh my God!
Like he was throwing the rain. Goodness, that was insane. That was insane.
Golly, that team got so close, and I remember just sitting. I had a football game for Charleston Southern earlier in the day. I get done. I race back to my dorm room so I could watch the end of the Hilton Head Christian game, and I'm watching it, and it's tied in the fourth quarter. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
because
god.
that game was at Benedict, right?
Yep.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
a great looking field, by the way.
it
sad that they
is.
don't play
It's a
there
good
anymore,
venue.
but
Yeah, they
good venue, but
had
I
that's where
like
Buford
Charleston
boys
Southern.
won, or Buford football won their state title.
Yep.
That was when they
Yep.
played at Benedict before they
It's a
moved
good
to SC
venue.
State.
It's a
But
good
then
venue.
SCISA, of course,
feel
moved
like
to Charleston Southern, but the Hilton Head Christian game was at Benedict, and that was before, because that was a long time ago now. Crazy. A lot has happened
Sure
since then.
was.
Hilton Head Christian Academy has continued to be right there, every year in, year out, competing
Phenomenal.
for state titles. It's been a
I
great
have a
program.
feeling it will be again
and-
next year.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think so too.
Um,
All right, fellas. We winding it down? Anything else?
I think so, because
Anything
I got
else?
nothing else
Yeah.
to talk about tonight.
Me neither, boys.
No, I mean, all I'll say is that it's good. February Frenzy, one of my favorite times of year around here in the Low
Oh, yeah.
Country. And you got that. You got USC baseball and softball heat up. Now you got USC basketball heat up as well. And the guys team especially is looking like they could take it deep into the conference tournament. So
Yep.
these next weeks are going to be a ton of fun and a lot of exciting postseason hoops actually coming. And right after that, we'll flip.
By the
switch to
time
spring
it
sports.
ends, we'll be in the whirlwind of spring sports.
Yes.
Here we go, boys. Buckle up. All right. Well, thanks so much to everyone who tuned in to listen or watch tonight. Thank you, Marcus Walsh, for being a great, more than a guest, much more than a guest, a contributor.
Appreciate that, man.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs Mickelson Law Firm. And most of all, thanks to you for showing up to listen or watch. You're the reason we do this, along with the kids and the celebrating the kids and all that we talked about earlier. But I mean, people want to watch us. They want to know what's going on. So that's why we keep doing it. And we appreciate that. So we'll see you probably Monday night, I suppose. Well, Sunday night, we may have a rewind. I don't know. You know where to find us.
Yeah.
We out there.
Yep.
But yeah, I assume we'll have a rewind on Sunday night.
And
possibly a
hope
grind
everyone had
as well.
a fantastic Valentine's Day with
Valentine's
loved
Day.
ones or people that mean a lot to them. And hope you ate
Hope you got some candy.
Yeah.
Hope you got some candy. My wife got us some crumble cookies. So
Oh, nice.
Ooh, very nice.
The little ones though, regular size cookies, not the ones that are like a whole dessert for a family.
Did they open that crumble cookie on Hilton Head?
There's a crumble on Hilton. Is there one Bluffton too?
On Hilton Head for a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She must have had to go to Hilton Head today.
Yeah.
So. All right, boys. Well, good show. We'll see you next time. And for Max Araj and Wes Kerr and Marcus Walsh, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.